So I have a funny story to share from the do as I say, not as I do category here regarding Desert Eagle jams and such. So that's a funny story. So the other day, not this gun, but it was the black gun. My black, just all black Desert Eagle. I'll show you on this thing here because it's a little easier to point out what I was doing. You know, I shoot a lot of rounds. I shoot, a lot. And I don't ever experience any jams, failure to feeds, anything like that. But yes, this last time when I took the black Desert Eagle, for some reason I had an issue, and it came out of nowhere. What had happened was I shot 4 mags of 58E, the two different brands of ammo. They were half open boxes, nothing unusual. And for some reason, every magazine between the first round and the last round, everyone at least once and sometimes twice, it would jam. And when I say jam, I don't mean failure to feed. I mean jam. You'd shoot the first one and literally it would jam. But when you looked in here, there was still rounds left and everything was fine here. And this was up. The slide lock was up. So all it took was me to basically chamber it and continue to shoot. But this went on for, and I even changed the barrel. So I had a muzzle brake barrel, so I swapped that. It did it. And I put the other one on. It did it. I used Hornady's ammo. It did. And these are the same things I use all the time. And they've never had an issue. And these weren't really jams in the sense, the typical, where it was a failure to return to battery. This was a jam where this was left open. Like it was the last round, but it wasn't. Very weird. So I thought I'd share this story. The more I thought about it, the more I figured it can only be one thing. And, I thought of how I've told people that when you hold the gun, if you hold it like I do, you don't want to lean on this latch, because here's the typical way I hold it, like this. And I always make it a point to try to stay below this, but you don't concentrate and you push on it. And normally it won't cause it to lock back. Normally what it'll do it'll put drag on this, and then you won't get a return to battery all the way. But in this case, it was locking wide open. So that was really weird, but I didn't know that. So I went ahead and shot the 4 magazines. I thought about it. I went back today, and sure enough, I didn't have one thing go wrong. Basically, it was just lack of concentration. When I did this, it was rubbing against this right here. And so when it went back, this hand wasn't stably underneath, and it would push up. And when it pushes up, just doesn't take much. It's just a little bit when the slide is back, and it stays back, and that was it. So if you ever have an odd problem where you're shooting and the magazine still has rounds left, but yet the slide continues to lock back, you might want to look at that. That might not be it, but that's what was causing it on mine. Or I even mentioned it in my, what to do if you're getting failure to feeds, failure to return to battery. That was one of the things, leaning on this and putting drag on the slide. Kind of the same thing. So again, do as I say and not as I do, but lack of concentration happens to everyone, and it happened this time, so I'm glad I figured it out. Thought I'd share.